The conditions in the Tidewater look to me, now I'm not a scholar of South Carolina history, South Carolina looks a lot more like a West Indian colony than it does like a New England one.
Oh, it really is, and I think since we started in graduate school, that's pretty much become the norm, is to say South Carolina really is a West Indian colony. It was colonized, the first European settlers were Anglo-Caribbean. They brought with them slaves who had been in the Caribbean, and they established an economy, an exploitative plantation economy based upon the Caribbean model. And the only thing they didn't follow was absentee landlordism.
Where I was going with this is, the Caribbean colonies, of course, they're dependent on the Royal Navy for defense. But while they have grievances with the British Crown in the 1760s, none of them are anxious to join in rebellion. Now, quite interesting, they have their protests against the Stamp Act and so on, but they're not about to join in rebellion. Tidewater, South Carolina, all within ready reach of the power of the Royal Navy, is potentially at great risk in joining the revolutionary movement.
But they, from the Stamp Act forward, so we're talking 1765 onward, statements coming out of South Carolina, if I just put them down, you would say, well, this has got to be written by Sam Adams. The Low Country elite was very concerned about, they wanted to run things their own way. And of course, for many years they basically had, because governors came and went, the British Empire, until after the French and Indian War. They weren't concerned in London about cracking down on customs duties and regulations and that kind of thing. And so these folks, this is where they're like the Caribbean. I love them. And they're swashbucklers. They really are. They're descendants of folks who came out to make a buck and they didn't make any bones about it, and don't get in my way.